Welcome back to Beyond Death, where we examine near-death experiences from people who say they have died and came back from the other side. Today, we have two short NDE. The first comes to us from Lori M., who describes crossing over and encountering what she refers to as source. Let's get straight into it. The evening of my NDE, I quite literally crawled to bed. I was so sick and in so much pain that I couldn't lift my own head without great effort. I remember crawling into bed and curling up into the fetal position and sobbing and rocking from the pain. I moaned, "Why me, God? When is this going to be over? How much more can one person take?" Quite a normal litany under the circumstances. Suddenly the tears stopped, the pain stopped, the confusion stopped. I became clearer-headed in that moment than I had ever previously experienced. I knew what I had to do. I had to ask for it to be over. Simple. Or so I thought. I now know that nothing is simple. I rolled onto my back, closed my eyes, and prayed for it to be over. Please God, let me come home. I began to experience a small amount of fear or separation anxiety, so I immediately began the relaxation exercises I had been taught to help with the pain and anxiety I had experienced for many years. Just as I felt myself relax, about to enter the alpha state, I felt a heat and a light move up my body. When it got to the top of my head, I felt a great pressure and the feeling of a void. No sound, no light, like being stuck in a vacuum. Suddenly, there was a noise like the passing of a speeding train. A whoosh sound, and I was moving, it seemed, upward through a dark-colored tunnel filled with lights like stars around it. With a flash of the most intense white light, I found myself standing before the source. I hesitate to explain my experience at this point, as it seems to me that that part of an NDE is very individual and personal. I will suffice to say that the source was a geodesic orb, which emanated all I sensed, felt, etc., and that there were other entities present. I was told to turn and look at what I was leaving and where I was going, in order to make a good decision. In other words, is this what I really wanted, or did I just want the pain to end? As I turned, I saw the earth in the distance. My experience lasted 6 hours in our time, and as such it is impossible to accurately describe everything I experienced. I will say that I saw my future, my past, and was allowed to make my decision from my now, as well as being given an important life message. My re-entry into my body was very painful, and I immediately felt that something was very wrong, like I got back in the wrong body or something. I got up slowly from the bed, looked in the mirror, and got scared. I didn't recognize myself immediately. Many others didn't recognize me after the experience, as I underwent some intense physical changes in that short time. During the experience alone, I lost 2 inches in height and 12 pounds, as well as more cosmetic changes, hair, complexion, etc. This is where Lori M. ended her near-death experience. However, she did do a question and answer portion afterwards that may be read at the link in the description for those that wish to learn more. I have to say, this is the first time I have heard of the experiencer returning with very obvious physical changes to the body. Tell me in the comments below what your thoughts on this are. Up next is an NDE from Glenda H., who describes dying, sitting and talking with a being who sat in a throne. Let's get into it. When I was 14 or maybe 16 years old, I lived in Omaha, Nebraska. On the weekends, I would go to work with my uncle. He worked at a 24-hour gas station. On a Friday night, I went to sleep about 3 a.m., and it was cold in my uncle's car. Most of the time, I could stay up and work with him, but that night it was too cold. He asked me if I wanted the car engine left on until I went to sleep. I told him, "No, I'll be all right." After I went to sleep, he came and turned on the car, just out of thoughtfulness. The car had an exhaust leak, so when we were in it, the windows had to be halfway down. As he was starting the car, a customer pulled up, so he was interrupted and forgot to roll down the front windows of the car a little bit. He told me that the car was running for about 45 minutes. I left my body. I traveled in darkness and sadness until I found light and comfort. A being was sitting on a throne and asked me to sit next to him. Yes, it was a man. Before I sat down, I saw others who were behind him. I asked, "Who are they?" "My angels." "Oh, am I an angel too?" I was told, "Not at this time. Soon you will be." I could hear the voices saying, "We'll miss you, remember you, and also wait for you." Somehow, I knew that though. Leaving was not what I wanted to do. I liked it there with the feeling of great compassion, and I can't explain the wonderful feeling. The light told me that I had to go back. I asked, "Why?" The reply was, "Your life was not intended to be taken by another." So, I sat down, knowing I couldn't stay. He then showed me a little of my life in the past. He told me that I still had to learn one of life's lessons. He told me of the future, that I will love the father of my children, that I could touch the face of God with that kind of love. I remember feeling that I will return to this place. All of a sudden, the light started to go away, but the voice was still with me, telling me that nobody was there to revive my earthly body. I was told, "You must leave or your soul will live in mysteries forever. Wake up and urinate." My uncle told me that when he saw me crawling out of the car in what he called a deep sleepwalk, he knew what had happened. I kept repeating, "I must urinate now. I must urinate now." He helped me to a chair. He was saying that my body was limp, as if I was dead. Then I wet my pants because the voice had told me to urinate. As my life continues on earth, I remember more of the experience, and it seems as if my whole lifetime was spent there. Note from Beyond Death: Glenda has also taken the time to answer questions after posting her near-death experience. Those that wish to learn more can visit the link in the description. While the 2 NDEs you have just heard are not as long as many others posted online, I feel as if I would not be doing the channel justice by excluding them based solely on length. If you prefer longer NDE, rest assured there will be more of those in the future. If you have ever had your own experience with the other side and would like to share on this channel, you may do so by emailing your experience to the email listed in the description. Until next time, stay blessed.